If you are already overwhelmed by all these complicated AI agent tutorials that need technical knowledge, or you need to build them step by step, then today I'm going to show you a new tool that I discovered, Lindy AI. With this, you can be a total beginner and build your first AI agent in less than 10 minutes. You don't need any technical knowledge, and I promise you won't get overwhelmed. And I'll show you today how to build this AI agent that creates newsletters on autopilot and sends them to your mailbox every Monday at 9 a.m. So you can then review the quality of the newsletter and then also go and check out all the other content that the AI agent stored in Airtable for me. So for example, newsletter draft, LinkedIn post, tweet, YouTube video script, and also a TikTok video script. And setting this up is so easy, I can't even believe it. It's only using one prompt and lots of different tools that it has access, and it makes its own decisions when to use each tool. So I don't have to do these typical step-by-step automations where I need to know exactly where some dynamic element goes, but everything is automatically done by the agent. So by the end of this video, you will have a really powerful secret weapon in your toolbox, and you will take one huge step closer to building your own AI army that does work for you. So let's get started. So first, let me quickly go over some of the questions that you might have. So why Lindy AI and not Make.com or N8N? I am definitely still using Make.com because it gives me lots of options for customization, but building the AI agents here, even though it's an option now, it's quite complicated here. As you can see, you have to build several scenarios, you have to connect them together, you have to add the data as different variables. So there's a lot of complexity, and I would be okay with this if there weren't better tools. So for AI automations, I think I'm still going to use Make.com for now, but for AI agents, I definitely plan to use Lindy.ai way more. And there's another tool that's really popular right now, N8N. So this allows you to build AI agents in a pretty visual way as well, so it looks nice. But once you start using it, you realize really quickly how technical it is, and you need to know a lot of technical knowledge to use it in a good way. And with most of the basic use cases, you can do everything with Lindy AI. So you only need tools like N8N when you have highly customizable use cases. But I think for most marketers, Lindy AI and Make.com will do most of the work already. And also you might be thinking, why build AI agents and when to build AI agents instead of automations, and what's even the difference? So to quickly go over this is a good graph showing that AI automation is something that goes step by step. If one thing happens, then it triggers another action, and it's all predetermined. And there's a lot of value in that, especially in content creation. But for AI agents, the agent has some instructions, it has different tools it has access to, and the agent makes decisions based on your instructions, what tools to use and when. So in some ways it takes away complexity, but in some ways it can also add more creativity that maybe you don't want. So definitely think about the use cases where AI agent is needed and where an automation is needed. A good use case for AI agent is, for example, if you want to do like voice notes and add different ideas really quickly when you're driving, for example, and then this agent decides what needs to get done. So one voice note could be about the content idea, and it knows that this now has to go to your content library. Another idea from a voice note might be about adding a meeting to your calendar or a task into your to-do list. And so it decides on its own based on the context what it needs to do. So that's a really good AI agent workflow. But today I'm showing you how to build this super simple newsletter that's going to run basically on autopilot. And I will also share this template along with all of these prompts in my private community, aimarketingmasters.com. So come here and check out all of the other automation blueprints, templates, and resources as well. And I will always give you additional advice if you need it. But now let's go back to Lindy AI, and I'll show you how to build this from scratch. But before that, let's quickly go over the pricing as well. So Lindy AI has a free plan, which gives you 400 credits per month. And I noticed that there are some modules that you can't access on this free plan. So the pro plan is $49. And with this, you will get 5,000 credits. But at first, you can use this 7-day free trial for the pro plan, so you can build everything out and see if you're actually going to use it. Okay, and then back to the main dashboard. So I'll show you how to create a new one. So you open up this new Lindy here and you start from scratch. And then you can rename it. Let's name it Newsletter Agent for AI Marketing Masters. And then the first thing you need to do is select a trigger. And the really simple trigger is schedule, and then on recurring schedule For example, I picked every Monday at 9 a.m. So every Monday at 9 a.m., this AI agent will wake up and start doing what I ask it to do. So the next step is going to be enter AI agent. And then we now have to add the prompt. What do we want this agent to do? So I have this prompt already prepared and I will share with you as well. So in aimarketingmasters.com, you will get the template and the prompt. And you just have to then remove my inputs. For example, here, AI for marketing is my topic, but you replace it with whatever topic you want to do the newsletter about. And here I'm also asking it to take into account my target group, marketers who are overwhelmed with all the AI news and tools. And basically this prompt is asking it to do research. I wanted to do general web research. I also wanted to go to Reddit and check what the actual people in real world are thinking. And then I wanted to have a focus on practical workflows and I wanted to be tailored for my target group. Then I want this agent to create the following content pieces based on the writing style that I have given. And I'll show you where to add that writing style. And I'm asking it to create newsletter draft, LinkedIn post, tweet, YouTube video script, and TikTok video script. And then I'm asking it to find an Airtable base called AMM, AI Marketing Masters newsletter with Lindy AI, the exact name. And for this, I'm using this Airtable template, and I will share this in AI Marketing Masters as well. So you can just copy it and it's yours, or you can set it up manually as well. And then I'm asking it to update all of the fields in this Airtable base. So basically date of the day, the sources with full URLs. And then I also wanted to mark the status as done. And I want to add all the content types to the correct fields. So this is a big thing where I don't have to go and do it one by one, as I usually do in make.com, where if I want to update Airtable, then I have to add this module. I have to find the right record ID. Then I have to mark it as done here. I have to find the right dynamic elements that update the right fields in Airtable. And then I have to save it and I have to test it and so on. So with this Lindy AI agent, I'm just saying add all the content where it needs to be. And since it has all the context, it has all the access, it will figure out based on the context. And it will work nicely because I have all of these columns named the right way. So newsletter draft, it will know that I need a newsletter draft here, LinkedIn post, and so on. So it's pretty clear to the AI agent. And then at the end, I wanted to send an email to my email account with the newsletter. And to the very end of the email, I wanted to add this Airtable record link. And as you can see here, I'm just saying it very generally. I don't have the link to give it. I don't have any dynamic elements here about the link or what the link exactly has to look like. I'm just assuming that it can figure it out. And it actually can. So as you saw in this example email, at the end, there's this record link here, and click on it, it opens up the correct record, the one that was just generated this week. So this is pretty amazing. Okay, and then the model, you can have the default Claude module here. You can pick some others, and it also gives you some recommendations for any type of writing. I usually prefer Claude models, but there are so many options here. You can just go with whatever the default is, for example, or change it based on your feelings. Then there's an option to ask for confirmation. I didn't want to use this. I want it to be semi-automatic. And since I'm not actually pushing anything live or publishing anything on autopilot, then I didn't need to use that. And then the next really big part is the skills section here. So here we have to add all of the tools that we need this AI agent to have access to in order to work. So based on our prompt, as we remember, we need to give access to Airtable. And when I click on this Airtable, I can select all. So then I don't have to figure out, like, does it need access to list the table, search the tables, whatever. So it has access to everything and it's going to make its own decisions. Then the next one, we also mentioned sending an email. So I'll find email, and here I'll only pick send an email. And then also we need search the web, and here it is, search the internet. Then we need some AI modules to create content, so write content, and I'll add another AI module to summarize content. Maybe that's needed as well. And I think this is it for this agent for right now. And then the exit condition, exit once the task is complete. Okay, this is done on the flow editor side. This is exactly the thing that I showed you working at the beginning of the video. There's one more thing that we need to do. So remember I talked about the writing style. So if I go to the settings part here, then I can add context. So for context, I want to add this other prompt. So let me copy this as well. And again, from AI Marketing Masters make.com, you will get everything. So here I'm telling it that your goal is to find relevant news articles and topics from the past week and to output really good quality content that sounds like me. And then the writing style guide. This is my content humanizing prompt that I'm using a lot. So here there are some simple rules that make content sound more human and less like an AI. So I'm adding this for context here as well. And then there's this really cool thing where you can add memories. So basically it says these are like evolving details that Lindy learns and retains across threads. So the context is also always fixed, but these you can kind of manage as you go. So for example, I could say right now I'm super interested in building AI agents with simple tools, not N8N, for example. So this gives more context, and maybe at one point I'm not that interested in this focus anymore, so then I can remove it. And then I can also add the default model here if I want to, but I don't have to use it. Okay, and then I go back to Flow Editor and we can now test this whole thing. So let's start using it. So this will take a few minutes. But basically, AI agent is now thinking through everything, how to do the research, where to go, what to find. And then once it goes through the research, it will start thinking about how to find the Airtable base, how to find the correct base, how to find a new record that we need to create, how to map all of these correct record fields, and how to add the right content here. So we'll figure out everything as it goes. And at the very end, it's going to send me an email that looks like this. And now, as you can see, it found the right base from Airtable. Now it's creating a new record. And yeah, once it's done, just turn it on here. And based on the schedule, it's going to automatically work every Monday. But this is just one really basic use case just to show how it works. Go and check out what other templates Lindy AI has here. There's a meeting note taker, meeting scheduler. There are so many options to work here. And I really like this tool because it makes everything so much easier than it is with make.com. But of course, there are so many use cases and there's way more customization options in make.com. So for me, it's not going to be 100% move over to Lindy. I'm just going to use Lindy for simpler AI agents, while I also build AI automations for content creation in make.com. So once you have built your first Lindy AI agent, then check out this other video where I'm showing you how to create your first make.com automation. It's super simple, it's super easy, and you will upgrade your AI skills so quickly with this. See you next week. Bye.